Hiya. No, we're not going to run across the street this time. Motorcyclist in shorts is such a decision. Such a decision. I also used to ride motorcycles without gloves too, so that was learned a lesson with that one. Actually, when I first got my first motorcycle, I was living in Indiana at the time, and I remember I'd ride to this. I worked as a groundskeeper at this summer camp. Hi. And first motorcycle, I was probably like 18. I was probably 18. That's wild. Uh, and I got my first motorcycle. I'd never really ridden. And then in a few weeks, I remember I was riding back and forth to the summer camp to be groundskeeper. And I would ride with shorts and flip flops and no shirt, no helmet down the interstate or the state road. It was state, I think it was 30 in Indiana. No shirt, no helmet, shorts and flip flops. What an idiot. There's a lot of things. There's not tons of things, but there's definitely like a good smattering of things where I'm like, I don't know how I made it. I don't know how I'm alive at this current moment with some of the decisions I've made. And I guess with that, good morning. Good to be here. Someone had messaged me this morning, or maybe it was last night, I don't know. I read the message this morning, but someone had messaged me this morning and they were like, I don't know how you do those like walk and talk live stream things. They're like, my mind would go blank. And I'm like, yeah, my mind does go blank. Like, same there, same. Apparently it's a holiday today. Happy Memorial Day, right? Memorial Day. I get Memorial Day and Labor Day confused, which is probably pretty disrespectful. The nature of them just feels kind of the same to me somehow. But I'm pretty sure today is Memorial Day. Oh, this is only for the US, I would guess. I assume that that's not for everyone else in other countries. So, to everyone else, happy regular, normal day to you. The idea of holidays is a weird thing. This day's special, but not the other days. Only this day. And it's special because of this reason. But it's only special in this country on this day for this reason. All the other places, it's not special, it's just a regular day. But not here. It's a special day here. And it's because these guys went off to go kill some other guys. Yeah. Look at this fuzzy cactus. Look at how fuzzy this boy is. Or girl. Could be a girl kindness. Fuzzy boy. You hear those crows going? So obnoxious. Oh yeah, they are. They're just... Oh, what are they doing? They must know something. Maybe something's there. What are they doing? I can hear like squirrels going. Sorry, I'm being a bad camera person right now. I can hear a squirrel up. Huh. I can hear a squirrel up out. Sorry for the camera work is because I start looking other places and I forget that there's a camera. And hi, by the way. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with these. They're so big. Just all doofuses doing something. Sometimes when they get all like talkative like that and doing things, it reminds me of the Jungle Book. It's like they're obviously communicating about something. I think it'd be fun to be a crow. Were you ever able to ride a bicycle with no hands? I feel like most people, figured it out at some point. I remember the first time I was able to do it, it was like, oh, it's like this is not how this bicycle was intended. I'm breaking the rules and it's awesome. My hair's annoying me. I don't know what's going on with it. All right, so what do we get into today? What's the vibe? I've been busy working on putting music into the app. I don't know if anyone is going to like it or not. I'm enjoying it. But then, so music is one of my favorite things. So it's hard to just do it a little bit. It's like if we're doing it, it's like, okay, well then we need different background themes for different parts of the app. And also, because if it were me, I wouldn't just want to have one. I would need to have like options of different things. I want to change, almost like Tetris. Do you guys remember Tetris on Game Boy, where it's like you could choose the music? It's like I don't just want one song. I want to be able to like switch it. Oh, the songs were awesome in Tetris. Here's my purple fuzzy tarantula legs flower. Too close. This is my favorite one. Love him. My favorite. That might be my favorite, and it's not even like a normal flower, but I just like it. Anyway, so I've been So far, there's only one musical theme in the app. Also, it might turn out that people just hate it, and it's like, no, I don't want music. I don't need more stimulation in my life. Thank you. There's enough stuff going on, and that's fine. There'll be a mute button. But that's also the problem with apps too. Is it's like, all right, I don't want the more buttons you put in, and it's more controls that go everywhere. I don't know, but it's been fun messing with potentially. Sorry, potentially adding some background music in. But then it also made me start going through and digging up because I used to make a lot of music, and so going through and like finding some random different things. I guess most musicians are probably like this, but there's lots of things that I ended up making that aren't like real songs for things. They weren't serious. I would you just make things because you're making things. And so like there was an era of my life where I would walk around with before phones were no, phones existed. I don't know what I'm talking about. But basically I'd walk around with a field recorder and I would just record different sounds. And so like I have this one I guess musical type thing. There's music behind it. I recorded this dog barking at a in his yard. I was walking by and he had a really cool bark. And so I recorded this dog. I'm sure his owners were thrilled that I'm just getting this dog to bark. But then I ended up putting music behind it. Check out this flower. This is dope. Look at this. So cool. So, oh, look at this. So actually, there's multiple kinds of flowers. I'm going to shove my face for the camera. It looks like they start out pink and then they explode into white with yellow. But the buds themselves, he's moving so much you can't see. They start out with pink buds. Wow. That's very cool. Anyway, so I made this musical thing years and years ago that's nothing. It's not even like, it's not like a song. I don't even know what it is. But it's basically just samples of this dog barking and breathing. There's like dog panting, and I am just like hard panting it left and right. And xylophone. I think I was playing xylophone. I don't even know what it is. It's interesting sounding. And so then I'm like going through all. Actually, I'm not going through all auto files. I'm remembering different things that I made probably 10 years ago that I'm like, okay, I'm going to put this as background music in this app. We'll see if that one makes it in. Yeah, we'll see if that makes it in. But there is one theme already, and I like it. I think maybe I am going to start looking up. They have those apps where they like show. I see people, they'll have the apps where they like show where they like ran. It'll show their progress path. And I think I might get one of those. Not so, I don't care about the distance or any of the things involved, but I would be curious to see. I don't ever know where I'm going. I just walk wherever I want to walk. And I'm curious to see how uniform or how much it changes by the day. Because I'm basically just talking to you and walking. And I definitely see some of the same things sometimes, but I'm curious as to how similar or different my path changes by the day. Mm, 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 and the world. Mm, 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 that's pretty. Around in ecstasy. Don't stop me now. Dun, dun, dun. His dad's jogging with his daughter and stroller. Good time. And playing Queen. I love that song. So gay. Song is, I don't know if there's a gayer song than Don't Stop Me Now. So gay. Maybe there are gayer ones, but man. There's a comment. How are things in the US these days? How have you been? I'm writing to you from Iraq. Hi to you in Iraq. What are the questions? How are things in the US these days? I think pretty crazy. I don't pay that much attention to what other people are doing. I'll be honest. So like I heard recently, actually I get news, I feel like from my therapist. I'll finish my well basically I'll get done talking about whatever. A lot of times I don't have that much to say in therapy. It's just a useful thing. Sometimes I have things to say, but a lot of times by the last few minutes of it, I'll get like a political update or what's going on in the world. And I guess I found out that Trump had like torn down like a third of the White House or something. I don't know if this is accurate, but like, or and I guess basically his like setup like is building his ballroom slash bunker, which seems pretty. I don't know. I'm not even. No, I'm going to comment. I'm on. I could do literally whatever I want. This is my live stream. So, depending on what your perspective of reality is, like what you decide the world is, I can see either of those things or any of those things having different. I can see two different realities happening, and I can only imagine basically like what the left or the right. I don't even know what those things are anymore. Basically, whether you like the guy or not, the it just has to be like mind melting for people to deal with. They're like, oh no, we're gonna this guy's actually no. Hang on a second. This is gnarly. He basically I'd heard something else they had told me where like he basically sued the IRS and so uh he's like immune to like tax stuff from now on. And also he had like settled and then made and then made uh and then made a fund for the people that were doing the January 6th thing, which interesting. Interesting. So how are things in the US these days? They're really great. They're really great when I don't pay attention to when other people are doing. We live in a wild time now. I don't know what's going on. Like the idea of like AI, the idea of what's going on like geopolitically, the idea of how connected everyone is to the internet and what's going on with their screens. I mean, really, it's all pretty unbelievable to me, like unprocessable by me, and kind of overwhelming. And then I go out and I take a walk, and I'm like, oh, look, here's more purple tarantula fuzzy legs of flowers. Just fuzzy tarantula flowers. I mean, how can we not like this? So, and then everything's fine. Honestly, beyond no, these are even more purple. These are the vibe. Look at this. Yeah, the more time I spend watching what other people are doing and like what's going on in the world. Oh, fuzzy tarantula like flowers. I just love these. Way more probably than I should. I just do. They're not your stereotypical flowers. Um, oh, it looks like they start off. Do they start off red? It looks like they start off red and then go to purple, or maybe that's a different plant. I can't tell. It looks like they start off red though. Yeah, if I pay attention to what's going on with other people, I can feel a little more. I can feel a little stressed. Because it's just too much to process. All the things that are going on, it's like, ugh, this is a lot. And I don't know. I don't know. It gets very big into the, like, it's a whole lot of into the things I can't control pile. And the more, well, the only things I can do with the things I can't control pile is just watch if I feel like it. There's a lot of good, there's a lot of good, I think, though, that just comes from watching. Or some people in whatever, like, wellness traditions would say called being present. Like, we don't always have to do anything. Sometimes it can be useful just to, like, just be here and watch. Like, sometimes I have to remember, I get caught up, I have to remember I'm not in charge of everything. Not everything is my responsibility. Not everything is my problem. The world isn't gonna like blow up or not based on whether I exist or what I do. Like it's just all knowing at the end of the day I'm just part of it. And also that's just talking about humans too. Check out this flower. Wait. I really wish I could get better with this. So pretty. That's just also talking about humans too. And that's the funniest thing. All humans do is talk about humans, and it's like there's a whole lot more going on. When we had the fires in Malibu, and I guess there was fires all over LA for a little bit. What, a year and a half ago, maybe now? And when they happened in Malibu, though, I was living over there at the time, and I went back a few days. We had to evacuate, and I went back a few days later to try and get some stuff out of the house I was living in. And when I drove back down the hill to get to the PCH, it used to just be a row of like two to three story houses all along the water. And when I drove back down the road to get to the PCH, all I would see is just all blue ocean. All the houses were gone. Like, just burned totally to the ground. Concrete pad foundations, but they were just like gone. Every once in a while you'd see. Actually, at that strip, there were no chimneys or anything. It was just gone. So all you see, and where I used to just see 2 to 3 story houses, I just saw blue ocean. And it became very evident to me really quickly right then that I was like, oh, the earth is going to be just fine. Humans are going to die. Like, whatever we do, whatever the decisions are, our houses, all those things were just gone so quick. The ocean was just fine now. I mean, just watching the earth kind of reset itself with fire. But it was totally fine. Honestly, it was beautiful. It was beautiful to be able to see the ocean. And it was honestly kind of like peaceful. It's such a weird thing to say. It was honestly kind of like peaceful and relieving to see that like the earth is doing great. The earth is going to be okay. Humans are going to die. Like if we're the ones that like persist in like saving the idea of like saving the earth is great. I mean, obviously everything's going to explode at some point in millions of eons, or whoever knows, it could be like right now. But like they're like saving life on the planet. That's basically just us. The roses are beautiful. They really are. Oh, there's some really cool little... Let me see if I can zoom in on this so you can see how pretty these flowers are. Yeah, you can see. These are tiny little guys. I don't know if you can see with the light. They're like a very soft purple. I always like this house a lot. And when I say always, I mean for a little bit of time I've been around here. Oh, I'm glad I picked this road to go down. One of these houses, I think near here, is like my favorite, but I don't know where it is. All right, so what are we getting into today? What's on the docket? What's on the schedule? You want to play a fun game? Or maybe a perverse game, depending on how you think about it. What's something uncomfortable that you don't want to admit to yourself? These are pretty. Oh, it zooms in too far, sorry. These flowers are really pretty because they're like tiered flowers. I guess I was at the back of them. Look at these. Very pretty. Hmm. It's interesting the way that thoughts work. What a brilliant thing to say, Justin. What I mean is, I can be existing and having a day and walking along, and then I see something that sparks a thought that just kind of takes me backwards. And then all of a sudden, that thought, and then I feel sad. And then I can just have the thought, and then I guess, move on. It's just so fascinating, though, how different experiences can just bring on different feelings in any moment. Or they'll start different, maybe different experiences or things I'll see. It could be a car passing, or a flower, sometimes smells. They'll bring up thoughts of things, and then what's funny is once the thought is there, then it starts this whole like brain path for me, this whole like story that can start, or reasoning why, or wondering why, or all kinds of things. Sometimes I hear other people talk, and it makes me not want to talk anymore. Like, just, I hear, I guess because I'm a judgmental person, but I'm just like, okay, if I sound, I don't know, I just think maybe humans talk too much. I'm like, no one needs to be talking that much. It's kind of an asshole thing to think about anybody, and I guess about myself, maybe. I smell someone cooking out right now. It smells good. Oh, why is that the best thing about summer? I guess I'm hungry too. I haven't eaten yet today. Man, that smells good. Like, it's like the barbecue, like I guess it's like a charcoal thing, but like someone cooking out, burgers and hot dogs or something or whatever they're cooking, but that fire smell. Realistically, now that I'm thinking about it, that smell is not just from like barbecuing, probably. That smell is probably like an evolutionary, like biological part of, like, I'm probably like evolutionarily like adapted to like that smell because of how we've, as a species, have probably like cooked over fires for how long. Also, realistically, not just that, because there's lots of times that we weren't eating meat and we're just gathering stuff or eating whatever's around. And so the fire smell might have been like, oh, we're in for a good meal. Like, not just a meal, not just food, we're in for like a treat, basically. I don't think there's been like, I don't think like all of like, all of human history, we just had like meat accessible to us where we could just like eat it whenever we wanted. You had to go out and get that shit. So like there's probably a whole lot that goes into the smell of like wood fires burning and meat cooking at the same time. That's like, I was watching this guy on Instagram. He has like a lion. It's called like Surga or something like that. I don't know how he has this lion, but I guess it's like 12 or 14 years old. But he just runs around with it and hunts with it and all the things, which looks awesome. It looks really awesome, honestly. Anyway, the point of this is, oh, he's basically talking about that it's instincts someone was saying, well, like, why would the cat move away if it sees a scorpion? How does it know? And he was just saying the lions have instinct. They didn't learn. They don't have to be stung by a scorpion to know. It gets passed down in their instinct, in their DNA. It carries all of this information. Also, DNA itself carries so much. I think they said like it basically carries like libraries of information, where it's like if you stacked up the DNA code, what it can store. Someone said it's, I don't know how many like bound volumes of books, but it's like dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens, I think. I think it's like a couple bookcases. Oh, hi. Little Pugsy there. I know. But like one strand of DNA holds like two bookcases worth of data. Anyway, and that's in all of us. And our DNA is actually not that much different. Anyway, and so they have these cats have the instinct where they know instinctively scorpions dangerous or snakes are dangerous, but like beetles and stuff like that aren't. And I think that we have those things. We have those things tucked in too. And so I think smelling fires, there may be like thousands of years of evolution, millions of years of evolution that have decided that that's a good thing. Hi, squirrel. Squirrels in the road just make me nervous. What time is it where you are right now? Also, how are things for you right now? I got the question asking how I was. How are things for you? What's going on where you're living? And how are you doing? I wonder if my arms are getting, how much exercise my arms get from holding this out in front of me all the time. Well, when I'm walking. I asked you a question of how you're doing, and then that lasted about 10 seconds, and I started thinking about myself again. That's how good of a listener I am. This comment says, "My dear friend, I don't know English very well." It sounds good. Sounds great. Seems like you're doing good. I bet you soon they're gonna have live translators. and it will just automatically just translate. I'm surprised they don't have this already, so that you can't just type, which that's kind of wild. If you put in comments in another language, I just screenshot so I can maybe try and translate them later. So I can find out if you're calling me names. It's really wild too, again, with what the internet is and how it exists, is that anyone can go out and just start streaming on their phone, and then someone across the whole world can listen to it. It's crazy. Kind of unbelievable. Hi. You know how like people like what hundreds of years ago they'd write letters to each other, and it would take like 6 weeks or 8 weeks to get there if it was going across the ocean. Well, I mean, before that you couldn't even get across the ocean. Kind of wild. And now I can stream from my phone when I take a walk. Pretty crazy. Hi. There's something wonderful about people just saying hi. I don't know why this is always like our norm, but like what a fun. I like that that's humans normal. We just acknowledge each other and say hi. It's kind of one of the most fun things to do. And I guess actually now that I think about it, it's one of the earliest things we do. You see another person, even you're like 2 or 3 or 1, and we're just like, that just reminded me of something that made me sad. Those things happen too. Anyway, it's a fun thing. I'm done with my walk, so I'm gonna get to the rest of my day. Thanks for spending time with me, for being here. I hope you have a really good day or afternoon or evening or night, wherever and whenever you are, and whoever you are, and whatever you are. I'm gonna start saying hi to the AI personalities because I think they can scrape all the videos now. So it's good to see you too. And I see you. I'm sending you good vibes. Take it easy, y'all.